A friendship under one umbrella. There was a boy at school named Ethan. He wasn't the smartest in class, nor the most mischievous, but everyone knew him as the quiet guy. Ethan always sat in the back row, rarely talked to anyone, and kept to himself. Some students thought he was arrogant, but the truth was he'd been bullied at his old school, and ever since, he chose to stay silent. Opposite Ethan was Sophie, cheerful, talkative, and always helping others. Though they had been classmates for a whole semester, Ethan and Sophie had never spoken a single word to each other. It was as if they lived in two completely different worlds. One rainy afternoon in October, the school bell rang just as the sky opened up. Students rushed to the gate, some with raincoats, others ducking for cover. Sophie had forgotten her umbrella. She stood by the flagpole, hugging her backpack, trying to shield herself from the rain. The downpour grew heavier. Just as Sophie started to shiver, a black umbrella quietly covered her head. Surprised, she looked up and there was Ethan, holding the umbrella above her. Without a word, he handed it to her and walked away, straight into the rain as if it were nothing. Sophie called out, "Hey, what about you?" Ethan simply smiled and replied, "It's okay." The next day, Sophie returned the umbrella. It was the first time they really talked about school, books, and little things. Ethan shared how he loved reading fantasy novels, and Sophie laughed while telling stories about her cat, her dance club, and how she loved the rain just not being soaked by it. From that day on, things changed. Ethan smiled more, spoke more, and eventually sat next to Sophie in class. They weren't the loudest or most obvious friends, but every time it rained, two umbrellas would walk side by side across the schoolyard. And though no one ever asked, everyone knew their friendship had started with a rainstorm and a quiet act of kindness.